From the 16th century to the 18th century, a powerful empire controlled most of northern India. It was renowned for effective administrative organization, which enabled it to rule much of India for more than 2 centuries. It's also known for its attempt to get Muslims and Hindus to live together under one united Indian state, and it is responsible for the construction of the Taj Mahal, described as the jewel of Muslim art in India. This empire was called the Mughal Empire. How's it, young stashes? My name is Dr. Akbar the Great, and as always, this is Stashy, and you're watching The Historian Stash. In 1526, a dude from Turkic-Mongol ancestry set out to take control over the Punjab region in India. This dude was Babur. Babur was a descendant of the Turkic conqueror Timur and the fierce Mongol ruler Genghis Khan. From his base in Kabul, Afghanistan, Babur took control of the Punjab region and was able to defeat Ibrahim Lodi, the Delhi Sultan, at the famous battle known as the First Battle of Panjpat. Babur's thirst for the conquest of India is said to have been inspired by Timur's raid on India during the 14th century. Babur's reputation as a badass military leader was largely due to his use of firearms and the superiority and experience of his cavalry. Babur and his forces moved into northern India, conquering as they went, and so the era of the Mughals began. By 1530, the Mughals controlled most of northern India.
The term Mughal or Mughal was actually used by Western scholars to describe the emperor and by extension, the empire as a whole. The use of the word Mughal and Mughal derived from the Arabic and Persian corruption of Mongol, and it emphasized the Mongol origins of the Timurid dynasty. However, the closest to an official name for the empire was Hindustan. The Mughals themselves called their own dynasty Gurkhani.
In 1530, Babur died and his son Humayun took over as Mughal emperor. But already by 1540, Humayun had lost control over the region to Afghan rebels and was sent to exile by the Afghan big shot Sher Shah Sur. Try saying that quickly 5 times.
He's not make sure.
In 1555, Humayun returned to power with the help of the Persians and his son Akbar, and so the Mughal Empire was re-established. But unfortunately for Humayun, he only lived for another year after his triumph before he was killed in an accident. So Akbar took over as emperor in 1556. Now Akbar is considered to be the greatest Mughal emperor and would become known as Akbar the Great. It was under his reign that the Mughal Empire started to reach its full potential. During Akbar's control, the Mughal Empire expanded from Kashmir in the north and Afghanistan in the northwest to Bengal in the east and the Deccan Plateau in the south. Akbar also implemented significant political, military and administrative structures that were used for generations to come. No wonder he's considered to be the Mughal goat. During Akbar's rule, significant political, administrative and military changes were made to the existing structures of the Mughal Empire. Akbar decided to impose a centralized system of administration and governance, where mansabdars, or warrior aristocrats, could be appointed to rule from various bureaucratic or military positions. This system of governance was also accompanied by religious tolerance, where people from various religious or cultural backgrounds could enlist and take part in the military or government services. Furthermore, Akbar decided to abolish the poll tax that non-Muslims had to pay, and he refused to attempt to convert his region's Hindu population to Islam. But this new Kumbaya stance was taken by Akbar with shrewd ulterior motives. You see, the empire had many different cultural and religious groups within it. Many of these groups hated one another. So, by tolerating the other cultures and religions, Akbar ensured that the different regions were loyal to him. By doing this, he attempted to unite all of these cultures and religions and promote coexistence under one India. This was highly important for the Mughal Empire's survival and also led to various cultural and artistic revolutions. In Indian society, men usually had all the political and economic power, where women were usually regarded as just part of the furniture. Those women who were part of the nobility or were of wealthier backgrounds were often kept out of the public eye and housed in separate areas called harems. However, it should be noted that during the Mughal era, the Sultan's wives were usually highly respected and some were encouraged to get education for themselves. Some of these noble women even attempted to help other women from poorer communities by giving them financial aid, as these poorer women were reduced to the control of their husbands and were faced to work in the rural areas. One of the most influential women from the Mughal Empire is Maher-un-Nisa, commonly known as Nur Jahan, the wife of Jahangir, who was the son of Akbar the Great.
There's a lot going on here.
In many cases, Nur Jahan was regarded as an equal to Jahangir. She started various campaigns that attempted to support disadvantaged citizens of the empire. After Humayun's exile in Persia, he was accompanied back to India by a famous Persian painter named Mir Said Ali. Shortly after Humayun's death, under the reign of Akbar, Mir Said Ali and other Persian painters established the first Mughal painting studio in Fatehpur Sikri. After this establishment, Mughal painting started to revolutionize into a distinctive style that combined sophisticated Persian painting techniques with the rich and bold colors used by local Indian painters and artists. Although Humayun's influence on the arts was short-lived due to his lengthy exile and untimely death, his tomb in Delhi is considered as an early symbol of Mughal architecture that showcased elements of large domes, tall, slender towers called minarets, and large decorated gateways. Although Akbar's reign is best known for the effective changes in the administrative and military structures of his empire, he also had significant influences on the cultural and artistic aspects of the Mughal Empire. For example, Akbar decided to build Ibadar Khana, a house of worship, near his palace in Agra, where debates with numerous cultural and religious representatives could be hosted. Furthermore, Akbar hosted intellectuals, poets, musicians, philosophers, and engineers in his various courts across Delhi, Agra, and Fatehpur Sikri. Significantly, it's during Akbar's reign that a Mughal architectural style developed. This style is known for its combination of Islamic, Persian, and Hindu elements of design. An interesting note of this development of art during Akbar's rule is his encouragement of portrait painting. This is interesting because portraits were considered taboo as an art form by the Islamic faith, because it's contrary to the teachings of the Quran. However, with Akbar's openness to various cultural and religious expressions, he encouraged any cultural artistic expression. Consequently, with Akbar's influence and encouragement, portraits became a significant aspect in the Mughal school of art and was commonly associated with the rich. Shah Jahan was a Mughal emperor known for his insatiable passion for architecture, and the period of his rule is universally considered to be the cultural peak of the Mughal Empire. In fact, the famed Taj Mahal, which was named the jewel of Muslim art in India by UNESCO World Heritage and declared one of the new 7 wonders of the world, was constructed for his late wife Mumtaz Mahal, who died tragically during childbirth. It's also during Shah Jahan's reign when the Red Fort in Delhi was built. Although Shah Jahan's passion for architecture was unmatched, he didn't share this passion for other forms of art, and therefore, during his rule, there were very few significant additions to Mughal art. During Emperor Aurangzeb's reign, the Mughal Empire declined drastically, even though this period also marked a broad expansion of the Mughal Empire through various annexations. Aurangzeb's rule and personality was characterized by highly orthodox Muslim religious practices. He did away with most of the coexistence policies of Akbar. So this meant that most luxuries, such as music and art, were banned in the royal court. Furthermore, various schools, temples, works of art, and especially portraits were destroyed. As a result, many artists fled the capital and took refuge in various local courts. Due to the openness and encouragement of various subjects such as art, literature, and engineering under Akbar's rule, the Mughal Empire emerged as an epicenter of academic discussion and learning. In fact, believe it or not, it was Indian scientists who invented the concept of zero, which revolutionized modern mathematics. So now we know who to blame.
Isn't that a little presumptuous?
Also, Indian metallurgists, people who work with and reshape melted metal, invented the metal seamless celestial globe, which helped astronomers to map the various stars and constellations. Remarkably, these globes were completely seamless, and only 21 of these globes were ever made. Even today, modern scientists and technology are unable to reproduce the same seamless metal globes. During the Mughal Empire, Indian trade became a significant player in global trade. Various European companies, especially from Portugal and Great Britain, sought to dominate Indian trade. In 1700, English merchants established the English East India Company that traded from main ports such as Madras, Bombay, and Calcutta. But even before European dominance in the 18th and 19th centuries, India's trade flourished locally. For example, each village had its own smaller markets whose commodities reached large ports. Furthermore, there was a great extent of professionalism among Mughal traders who specialized in various trades, most notably the production and trading of cotton and silk. This was so big that towards the end of the 17th century, the Indian textile exports dominated more than 25% of the world's market share. The beginning of the Mughal Empire's decline started to show during the reign of Shah Jahan. Due to his excessive building projects and military expansions, the empire started to show signs of bankruptcy. After Shah Jahan's death, his youngest son, Aurangzeb, seized power by eliminating his brothers.
Oh, that's cold.
As briefly mentioned before, Aurangzeb's rule was characterized by a strict adherence to Islam. Therefore, Aurangzeb stopped the period of enlightenment that followed Akbar's rule by eliminating almost all tolerance of the Hindu religion. This was done through kicking out and excluding all Hindus from public offices, as well as the persecution of the Sikhs and Punjab. As a result, the hope for a continued united Indian state, which had been built after decades of work from his predecessors, was lost. This also meant that certain regions that followed other religion started questioning Aurangzeb's rule. So during his reign, the Rajputs, Sikhs and Marathas launched various rebellions against the Mughal Empire. When Aurangzeb died in 1707, the Marathas controlled authority in most of the Mughal-controlled territories. Aurangzeb's death marked the beginning of a period of abrupt and inconsistent lapses of Mughal control. For example, control of the empire was only established again in 1719, 12 years after Aurangzeb died. The new emperor, Muhammad Shah, took control of a now fragmented Mughal empire that was experiencing regional warfare and internal rivalries. Then in 1739, the Mughals lost control once more when the Iranian conqueror Nadir Shah launched an invasion into northern India, with his forces sacking Delhi and taking control over various Mughal cultural and religious icons. This defeat showed massive vulnerability in Mughal rule. As a result, the Mughal Empire was reduced to a small region near Delhi. After various exchanges of control over this small region between the Mughals, the Marathas and even the British, the last of the Mughal leaders, Bahadur Shah II, took control of the region, only to be exiled by the British after the Mughals' involvement in the Indian Mutiny of 1857 to 1858. It became clear that the Mughals were unable to retain their power and compete with the strong internal forces, as well as the now ever-growing European imperial and colonial influence and power. Despite its eventual downfall, the Mughal Empire left a lasting legacy that endures to this day. Its contributions to art, architecture and literature continue to influence Indian culture. The blend of Persian, Indian and Central Asian traditions fostered during the Mughal era laid the foundation for modern Indian identity. The story of the Mughal Empire is one of conquest and splendor, of cultural synthesis and decline. From its humble beginnings in the rugged terrain of Central Asia to its majestic rule over the Indian subcontinent, the Mughals left an indelible mark on history. That's it for now. Please slap the like, share and subscribe button if you haven't done so already, as you are helping to grow this channel into something special. Until next time, from Stashy and myself, stay stashy.